probably the wankiest cocktail out there, the Negroni, is also one of the most popular, loved by bartenders worldwide, to the point that it's even got its own week, Negroni Week. And today, I'm going to show you a very non-wanky Negroni. I'm going to try and make it the least wanky as possible. And I'm going to show you how you can make an absolutely delicious Negroni every single time. You can't really go wrong with a Negroni, and the late Gary Regan said, in not so many words, you can put any kind of measurements that you want from all the 3 ingredients that are going in a Negroni, and you're still gonna get it right. So yeah, the Negroni is one of those cocktails that bartenders seem to love. They love knowing a little bit more than you about the Negroni, and they love to drink it. I mean, I'm included in that. I love to drink a Negroni. I hated it at first, but now I do love it. And today I'm gonna show you my very, very simple, very easy Negroni, as well as what you can use if you haven't got the ingredients which I've got, which today we are using Moses Gin, London Dry Gin, really nice, a lot of citrus notes, really delicious. Then we've got every Italian's favorite bitter liqueur, Campari. Now, it's a miracle that the Negroni has become so popular because, I mean, who really likes Campari? I mean, it's this deep red, bitter, sweet liqueur, which is actually really delicious. I mean, again, it's one of those things that when you first tried it, hurt. But over time, you learn to love it. You learn to love it, especially if you're a bartender. But you really do learn to enjoy it. And if you don't want to use that, and you want to use something a little less bitter, a bit more sweet, you can always use some Aperol if you want to. Well, we're going to go with the classic Campari. And then we've got some Antica Formula. This is the sweetness that's going into the cocktail. And if you haven't got any Antica Formula, you can use any sweet vermouth that you've got. So you can have Moses Gin. If you haven't got that, any London Dry Gin is going to work well. Try not to go for those sweet flavored gins because they're just going to mess up the cocktail. Campari, if you don't want to use Campari, you want to use something like Aperol, you can do. And Antica Formula, you can replace with any kind of sweet vermouth that you have available. I'm going to be making it in this very non-wanky glass. I made this myself. I blew this glass in London, in the London glass blowing place in London, near London Bridge. And that's it. It was kind of Negroni colored, so we're using that one today. And we're going to make our Negroni in a mixing glass. First things first, we want to chill my handmade, hand-blown glass. So what are we going to do now? We're going to take that out, we're going to put that in here like that, and we're going to put that one on top like that. Boom! That is chilling. Chilling. Classic recipe basically says equal parts of all 3, and that's normally how I make it. But I have been watching another bartender on YouTube. His name's Anders Eriksson. Really great YouTube channel. Go and check it out. I'll leave a link down below. And he suggests 2-1-1. So that's what we're going to do today for the first time ever. 2 parts of gin. Oh, I've only just about got enough. Gosh. And then 1 part of our Antica Formula. Oh yes. I'm using 50 mils of the gin, 25 mils Antica Formula, and then 25 mils of Campari. What he says is that if you do equal parts of all 3, the Campari can be quite overpowering, and it can be an overpowering ingredient. So be careful when you are using this. As much as a lot of bartenders do love it, it can overtake a cocktail and destroy it, make it completely bitter and completely Campari tasting. Okie dokie. It's time to start. Right, trying to keep it as less wanky as possible. We are going to start. Now listen, when you're making a Campari, you can chuck it in a glass. You don't have to stir it. You can just let it sit in the glass, let it melt slowly and drink it, sip it and drink it slowly. I'm stirring it because I want to try it when it's cold immediately. I want to get it to a level of dilution that I enjoy. But, you know, if you're in a rush, just build it. Straight in the glass, over ice, serve it. So, yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. As I said, you can build it, you can throw it if you want to, or you can just pour it, you know, do it in shots, for all I care. It's totally up to you, no problems whatsoever. Let's get rid of any excess water we got in here, and we are going to strain this over ice. Oh, yes. Now, for our garnish, I do love an orange peel, but we're going to get rid of our peeler, and we are going to do just a nice orange, simple orange wedge. Very unconventional way to cut an orange wedge. And I'm just going to tuck that in the side, and that is there to be squozened into the cocktail if you want to do so. Bang, bosh. And that's how you make a Negroni. It is as easy as that. I mean, the easiest cocktail in the world. Maybe that's why bartenders love it so much, because it is the easiest cocktail in the world to make. You cannot, basically you can't get it wrong. As long as you put those 3 ingredients in it, it's gonna taste good. Just don't try not to put too much of the sweet vermouth or too much of the Campari. Equal parts of those, or equal parts of all 3, you're laughing. But completely up to you. Let's try it. Well, I think Anders Ericsson is correct with his measurements. 2 parts gin, 1 part sweet vermouth or Antica formula, 1 part Campari. I like it more because you're not overpowered with the Campari. Now I am gonna squeeze this orange wedge in there just to get a bit more orangey flavor. And it works. It works. Like I said, you can't go wrong. It's the wankiest cocktail ever, but you can't go wrong with it. You're gonna love it. And that's how you make a Negroni. A full week dedicated to that drink right there. And you will find this drink made in a gazillion different ways, but the easiest is equal parts, all 3, Campari, gin, sweet vermouth, put it in, stir it up, orange slice, bish, bash, bosh, you are done. And so's this video. But before I go, I do want to say a huge thank you to all my Patreon members who are either side of me right there. And I want to say congratulations to Negroni Week. Not sure if it's congratulations, but give this one a try for yourself. The Negroni is a fantastic cocktail. You will very much enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, just keep drinking it until you do enjoy it, because every bartender loves a great Negroni. I love a great Negroni. This is a great Negroni. I'm going to stop saying Negroni until next week. Negroni.